What's poppin', T Squad? It's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, Episode 2. No, the episode did not air early. I actually got the opportunity to watch it before it actually aired tonight at 7 p.m. But anywho, let's get into the review. So we start off the episode with Bitch Tail doing a sexy calendar shoot. He's trying to rebrand himself, and I guess the best way possible for him, child, is by taking off them skeet ass clothes. He calls Destiny, who's right down the street. Her beauty supply is right by the place where he's taking the photos. And he asks her to bring him some baby oil. Disgusting. Gross. But she does it anyway. He says to the photographer that the idea of doing the calendar actually came from Mel. And he's not talking about his ex-wife Mel. He's talking about his new manager named Melanika. I think that's the child name or whatever. He says he's been knowing her actually longer than he even knew his ex-wife Mel. They've never slept with each other, anything like that. They're just strictly platonic friends. And they're working on a lot of business together. She brings up book signings and travel. You know, I told you guys that he copied off Miss Vanessa's children book. He wrote a children's book with the kids or whatever. You know, he got to make money any way he can, even by using them kids, because Lord knows he can't do nothing on his own. So Destiny arrives, and she was giving me Mary J. Blige, I'm Going Down 1998 fashions, but it was really, really cute. I actually liked it on her. And they sit down and they talk, and she tells him about what happened in Los Angeles after the reunion, and she tells him that Mel was standing outside her hotel door listening to her conversation with Tisha, and that when they got back home and sat down and talked about it, that Mel said that Tisha was her enemy. Child, this whole thing is just a raggedy mess, because she's saying Mel was standing outside the door. Mel says that she overheard them, you know, through the wall in the hotel room. Who knows? Nobody was there to know exactly what happened. It's either you believe one or the other. Martell in his confessional says anybody Mel have around her, she wants them to be a yes girl. I guess when Destiny started showing she wasn't going to be that girl, Melody started pulling away from her, and Destiny was hurt by that. Well, if I remember correctly, Destiny last season, season 3, kept on getting smart with Mel, questioning her parenting. She brought up stupid friendship shit at this girl's video shoot. She was just had a really bad haterish vibe that I told y'all about last season. I told y'all she didn't mean no good, and I believe that that was the reason why Mel distanced herself based off Destiny's behavior last season. So Bitch Tail have several, and I noticed that after that scene we didn't see Martell again this entire episode, much like last week's episode when he only had a few minutes segment and we didn't see him again. It's mighty funny that now that Mel is not filming with him, that he doesn't have a storyline. Once again proving that his whole entire existence is based on him and Melody. Melody is still thriving on the show with storylines, with business opportunities, with friends, and Martell is over here in the bathtub with some dollar store fucking rose petals flung on his fucking crotch. Girl, goodbye, sir. So Mel goes to see her girl Stormy at her warehouse. Stormy is a businesswoman. She has, I think, a hair care line or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. She's doing a damn thing. Her and Mel have been friends. You know, she was on the show last season. Mel used her house for her video shoot and for the video launch party. So Mel goes to see her, you know, to chop it up, get advice on her makeup line that she has coming out. She says that, you know, she really vibes with Stormi because they're both business women. They can both learn from each other. She's learning so much from Stormi because Stormi already has a successful company, and they just basically some boss bitches that's out here doing the damn thing together. So Stormi asks about the reunion, and she was like, girl, I was cracking up because I was like, not did you say that you don't remember sucking the Peter Weeder? So Mel was like, I don't owe him anything, talking about Martell. She was like, his baby mama talk about how he eat her ass. I've never had those conversations, so I wasn't about to do it then. It's nobody's business. And I agree that it isn't anybody's business, but at the same token, you could have just said that on stage. Like, I don't have to answer to this man no more. We are not married. What I did or what I didn't do is irrelevant at this point. She should have just said that on stage instead of just saying that she don't remember or whatever. I just honestly believe in that instance, Mel got caught up in a lie, and she just said the first thing that came to her mind at that moment, and it backfired on her. But I would rather for her just to be transparent about it and just be like, I don't owe that nigga shit. Fuck him. Period. Pooh. You know? So Mel invites Stormi to her pajama party, and Stormi asks why Tisha and Destiny aren't invited. And Mel tells her, you know, what happened in Los Angeles and how she just feels like, you know, she ain't got time for fake friends. And once she get that red flag, it's a wrap pretty much. So Stormi then brings up her having reservations about Tiffany. And she feels like she comes across thirsty and strange. Wow. So she says that Tiffany actually reached out to her on Instagram. She DM'd her and was congratulating her about her business or whatever, and I guess maybe about her being on the show. And Stormi said that she told her flat out that she comes across wrong, and that, you know, she gonna need to feel her out before they can really move forward. And one thing that I can say about Stormi that I like so far is that she's upfront. She doesn't pull any punches. She ain't about that fake shit. She gonna say what she mean, and she gonna mean what she say. Stormi seems like a gutter bitch. Stormi seemed like she used to box with boulders. She seemed like she used to be a scrapper. She seemed like that girl in school that was always fighting somebody, that would get mad if you liked the nigga that she liked and would torment your ass. She just seemed like she liked to chew on rocks. Stormi, I'm scared of her. Stormi is a hood bitch. You can't tell me. Her country twang, honey, that is a hood bitch right there. And I am afraid. I'm not going to talk too much about this lady because she look like she'll find me, child. So Tisha and Marceau are at their office. Love Tisha hair in this scene, by the way. And they're talking about, you know, their home that they're supposed to be having built. Tisha thought they would only be in their temporary home for a year. It's been 30 months now, and it seems like the progress is not progressing. A fish called Wanda then arrives, child. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I have seen enough of this woman this week. So Marceau in his confession was like, I didn't realize vampires could enter without being invited. He told us she must be a day walker. Child, I know Monique, my bestie, is going to get a kick out of that line because she is a huge Walking Dead fan. Child, I know that they don't have vampires on that show, but still, that was funny to me. So Wanda brings up her food truck called Show Enough Wanda. I'm not eating there. I suggest you not eat there. I don't trust that lady. Wanda look like she don't wash her hands. Wanda look like she don't wash her hands. Wanda look like she clean chicken out in the sink and don't wash it down afterwards with bleach. She look like she don't even know what salmonella is and cross-contamination. Absolutely not. She says that the food truck is going to specialize in loaded baked potatoes. Okay. So Tisha then informs Marceau that they're investing in her food truck basically paying for it. And Marceau is shocked because he says they never had this conversation. Tisha, however, says they have had the conversation or whatever. It's just a mess. So then Wanda brings up the picture and she was like, you threw Maurice under the bus. You shouldn't have put that up there. When people say something about my daughter, I'm coming. You already know how I feel about the 20 women's. It's women, not women's. She said, I told you a long time ago, birds of a feather flock together. And Marceau was like, and I told you I never flocked with him. There's not a single place in Huntsville that we have been one-on-one ever. I find that hard to believe that you and Martell have never went anywhere in Huntsville and all the years that you've known each other solo. He talking about something because Martell doesn't drink. So what we going to do? Go to Applebee's and have dinner? I just don't believe that. I find that very hard to believe that they ain't never kicked it one-on-one. And if they haven't, that says a lot about their friendship. And if I'm not mistaken, I remember back in the earlier seasons, he would talk about how they used to go out to the bar and stuff together, if I'm not mistaken. So Wanda was like, have you read? She didn't say rent, y'all. She said read. Have you read or had an apartment with Martell? It's a yes or no question. Question with an R in it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the hooked on phonics, Jesus. Let me tell you something. Wanda could never go on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Because she would fail miserably. So Marceau was like, why is it of any concern of you? If I had a secret, do you think I would tell you? Once again, he did not answer anything that was being asked of him. Wanda was like, stop it. Stop it, Marceau. You're making me mad. You're making me mad. Tisha was like, at this point, it's laughable what's being said about him. I'm like, okay, girl, well, continue to laugh, because I'm going to continue to laugh, because everything is not a joke and everything is not funny. And my thing is, if he isn't out here doing anything, why does he continually play into that narrative? It's not funny, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's being embarrassed, talked about on social media, dogged by the public. So it's not funny, because he's being funny at your expense, and it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's taken on this villain role, much like Martell, but I can't even say that about Marceau, because he's been acting this way since season 1. Everything about the way he treats her, the way he talks about her, the way he talks to her, his controlling nature, his sexist nature, you know, his chauvinistic old school pig-headed ways to the cheating allegations make him look horrible. So it's just, if Tisha like it, I love it at this point. Now let's talk about Wanda's confessional look. Why was this lady in that confessional dressed like a firefly? Like, what in the glow stick is happening here? She was giving me very much dragonfly. Like, I was like, no ma'am, no ma'am, no Pam. So Kimmy and Maurice go over to Jalen's apartment. And now he said that he had a girl upstairs. I don't really too much believe it. I think that he was just saying that being funny. But anywho, Jalen and them sit down and he brings up the picture and asks, are they okay? Maurice was like, you know, the stuff on that post wasn't accurate, and Marceau was just being funny. Okay, it ain't that much joking in the world, but all right, people. So Jalen was like, when I was reading the post, I was like, has he cheated on my mom? Kimmy was like, we don't believe infidelity as something that is right or whatever. And I was like, well, that ain't what you said on last week's episode when you and Mel was talking about it. You said anything that happened before y'all got married was basically cool. You know what I'm saying? So which one is it, Kimmy? Which one the fuck is it? So male pajama party has finally came. All the girls arrive, including Tisha's cousin Kiki. Now remember, one of my big questions was, what is the relationship between Mel and Kiki? Is this some new shit? Have they been knowing each other? What is going on? So this week, DJ Richie Sky, shout out to him. Hey, boo. He interviewed Melody and he asked her about Kiki. And she said that her and Kiki have been friends for years, that she actually knew Kiki before she knew Mel, and that she's invited her to several of her events and that they have been cool. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better, because I was like, okay, I don't like the way this is looking. What is going on? And Kimmy even says that, you know, they knew each other prior. Okay, so we got that off the table. I just want Kiki, if she gonna come on national television, Kiki just looks harsh. She gives me Ving Rhames and Holiday Heart. It ain't coagulating, child. That's all I got to say. So Kimmy wonders how Tisha's gonna feel when she finds out that Kiki was invited and she was not. Well, my thing is, once again, if her and Mel already had a relationship with each other, then, and she's been to other events, then it shouldn't be a problem for her to be there. You know what I'm saying? Much like Destiny going to Black, kicking it at Black, kicking it with Tisha. Shouldn't be anything wrong with that. So they're all in the kitchen, and Stormy brings up the post to Kimmy. And Kimmy, her confession was like, why am I here? Like, she's basically tired of answering the questions, but she's going to answer them because it's here. I gotta face it. It is what it is. And I was like, yeah, Kimmy, now your relationship is in the hot seat, and you gotta deal with your other castmates have been dealing with since the beginning of this show. So Mel was like, you think what they saying about Marceau is true? What he was doing in 2015 when they took that picture? Kimmy was like, I don't think that they were doing anything when they were down there. If somebody were to say something to me to prove otherwise, I wouldn't be flabbergasted. Now that said a lot to me, that she wouldn't be shocked if she did hear something about Marceau. That says a lot to me. But one thing that I want to say about Mel is I wouldn't even bring Tisha nor Marceau up on this show, period. I wouldn't even bring them up, because all it's going to do is just further prove or stir the pot in Tisha's mind that you talk about me and my husband. You trying to make it seem like my husband is a cheater just because your husband cheated on me. Like, I wouldn't even give her the time of day. I'll let everybody else talk about the bitch. I wouldn't even bring her up, because it's going to always come back that you're trying to be a hater, talk bad on her marriage. You already know how this scenario goes. But in the same token, as I say that, I do have to realize that they are on a reality show where they're going to have to talk about these topics. It's just a given. So it's not like I could just be on her and not talk about shit. This is a show. It needs to be produced. It has to have drama. They're both going to have to talk about each other on the show. So it's like a gift and a curse almost, because in real life, I wouldn't even bring her up. You know what I'm saying? Her or her nigga. But we are on the show, so it has to be talked about. I just hate it. I just hate it. So Kimmy was, I'm sorry. So Stormy was like, do you think the post was used to deflect? Take some heat off of one person to put it on the next person? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Stormy, me and you on the same wavelength. Kimmy was like, it didn't do that at all. Stormy was like, to me, it deflected because people always talk about Marceau being a cheater. Nobody really talked about Maurice. Did you ask him about it? And Kimmy was like, yeah, he said it was a joke. I think even Kimmy knew how dumb she sounded in that instance, because her voice pitch kept on going up. You could tell she felt uncomfortable. Child, I guess. So Mel was like, what could have been the humor with you knowing your brother just said on the stage, I wasn't with y'all. Whatever it was, now let me drop a picture. And I agree with Mel. Like, what's funny about that? What's funny about putting your brother on blast? I feel like Marceau did it like, we always in the hot seat. Nigga, you gonna be in the hot seat. But that's your brother at the end of the damn day. As much as he covered for you, why you ain't covering for him in this instance? You know what I'm saying? And y'all all know, based on the videos and the footage that I've shown you guys, Marceau constantly says slick shit about Maurice and him and Kimmy's marriage. So nah, it ain't fucking funny. It's not fucking funny at all. It's not a goddamn joke. Your brother is using humor as a way of fucking with y'all. And that ain't fucking cool at the end of the damn day. And you need to look into that, sis, because he throwing shots. And obviously he got information to back it up. Kimmy, okay, girl, all right. So Kimmy was like, I can't answer that. I thought it was in poor taste. And Stormy was like, no, that's fucked up. And I was like, exactly, Stormy. So Mel in her confessional says Kimmy believing that Marceau wouldn't post subliminals about Maurice. That's just Kimmy. Basically like, girl, if you like it, I love it. She was like, I totally agree with Stormy. That's some backstabbing shit to me. And it most certainly is. So Mel was like, I'm asking you to open your eyes. You can still not cut them off, but just keep your eyes open. And Kimmy was like, I think they're open. Well, if you think they're open, then darling, you need to open them wider. Shit. So Mel was like, sometimes when people he and ha, it's a fucking cover up for their real intentions. And baby, if that shit ain't the truth, you gotta be careful when motherfuckers always saying shit but then disguising it as a joke. Nah, cause after a while you gonna realize, no, your ass is being fucking serious. Ain't shit funny, and you being funny, and you fucking with me. And I don't think that Mel, you know, cause a lot of people try to say that Mel constantly is trying to make it seem like everybody else's husband is cheating. Nah, when you've seen stuff and when you've gone through stuff, you peep game. And me being somebody that was a hoe, a reformed hoe, been around hoe activities on the male and female side, been in rooms where somebody in a relationship and fucking somebody else and the person know the other person and they play it off like they just friends. I have been in these situations, so I know and I peep game. And you have to understand the game, honey, and how people will play in your fucking face. People will play in your fucking face, bro. So I agree with Mel saying to her, keep your eyes open, sis. Just keep your eyes open. So Mel was like, to Kiki, she was like, you're her cousin. Do you feel like she's had any inclination or seen anything since 2018? Or are these the first rumors that have ever been out about their marriage? Once again, I felt like that was inappropriate. I felt like Mel shouldn't have brought Tisha up to her cousin at all, because you're being contradictory to what you're saying about Destiny and Tisha. If you don't want Destiny talking about you to Tisha, then you shouldn't be talking about Tisha to her cousin or anybody else. In her interview with DJ Richie Sky, she stated that she told Destiny when she brought Destiny onto the show that she can make her own assumptions about these people. She could be friends with whoever she likes. She's never going to stop her from being friends with anybody. But that she told her to just keep her out of the situation. Don't talk about me to Tisha. That's exactly what she said. So based on that, if that's what you told Destiny, then you need to apply that same, you know, rule to yourself. Why even ask about Tisha? Question anything about Tisha? I just wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have done it. It's a contradictory once again, and it's being fucking messy. And I gotta call you out on that shit. It's being fucking messy. And on top of that, her cousin was even fucking messier for answering the fucking question. Fucking messy as hell. But you can't trust nobody that look like Ving Rhames. you just fucking can't. I felt like they was being messy as fuck. So at this point, Mel's feelings have gone out the window for me as far as this situation, because you're being messy. I wouldn't even brought up Tisha. You're giving her the ammunition to say, you telling me I can't, you telling Destiny not to talk about you and me, but then you get on live television and talk about me to my cousin. So make it make sense. Unless you're just trying to be a petty bitch. Unless you're just trying to be a petty bitch. Bitch, you was talking about me, so I'm gonna talk about you on camera. How about that? And in that case, just say that. I would have rather for Mel to just been like, you know what? She was talking about me. I heard them talking about me. So, yep, I'm going to talk about her. Period. What's the tea, bitch? I want to know it all. I would rather for it to came out that way, because this way is just, like I said, messy as hell. And it's fucked up, and it's on some fugazi shit. So Kiki says, I'm not going to say these are the first rumors. Kiki, you ain't shit, bitch. You ain't shit. That's your motherfucking family. You shouldn't even answer the motherfucking question, bitch. And so I'm more mad at you than Mel, because you're her fucking family. Why would you even answer the question? It should have been like, girl, I ain't getting into that. That's on y'all. No, I'm here to be in my pajamas and party, bitch. Anything else, I'm not even answering that damn question. But the fact that you sit up there and answer this says a lot about you. You thirsty as fuck. You want that camera time, bitch. And don't not now camera need to be focused on that face. But okay. So Mel was like, so she's heard before. Kiki was like, things have come to her when she's had to look at her marriage. And Mel was like, oh, okay. So in this scene, Mel was basically trying to prove that Tisha had already been hearing shit about Marceau cheating before the show even aired. Which was a good way to clear her name. But at the same token, like I said, it's being fucking messy. So Kiki was like, her truth for her is that she has not seen anything of the things that he's been accused of. And you notice that she said her truth. That be shading the fuck out of Kimmy. So, I mean, out of Tisha. So Kimmy in her confessional was like, everybody wanted to talk about Letitia. If we weren't going to invite her, why talk about her? And I 100% agree with that. Why are y'all talking about her? Why are y'all making this whole thing about fucking Tisha? But my thing with Kimmy is, did you say that to their face? Because you was standing there listening to everything. But okay. So Tiffany and Kimmy sit down and talk. And I just want to focus on Tiffany's confessional look. Why was she dressed like Mama off of Mama's Family? That old ass church lady dress was so throwback, so vintage, and not in a good way. Did she get that from the thrift store? Well, who is styling this lady? Why does she dress like she is 95 years old? What is happening here? Tiffany, you are a beautiful woman. Please go get you a stylist and stop dressing like you are going to a retirement party. What is going on? So they sit down and, Tiffany wants to clear the air with Kimmy to make sure that they're good. There ain't no beef. And she brings up Kimmy coming hard for her at the reunion and bringing up the fact that she was fired from the Chambers of Commerce. And Tiffany was like, she makes it clear that she wasn't fired, that she actually was the one that wanted to leave and that she left with benefits. Kimmy makes it clear that she was just saying it out of do me like you want me to do you, period. Like, it ain't no hard feelings. It ain't no beef. They are cool now. They are in a good place, which is a good thing. Happy for them. So then Stormy comes over and joins the conversation, asks what they were talking about. And they tell her they was talking about, the Chambers of Commerce situation. And Stormy was like, you still work there? It was somehow the way she asked the question tickled the fuck out of me. So Tiffany was like, I haven't in like 5 years. I have my own business. So Tiffany in her confessional says that she didn't feel like it was right for Stormy to come over asking questions after her and Kimmy had, pretty much made up. And I was like, oh, you don't think that is appropriate, but you thought it was appropriate last season to come in hot asking people about their kids and shit. Make it make sense, Tiffany, please. So then Mel joins the conversation and asks what was going on. Stormy was like, from my perspective, she came on as Tiffany from Chambers of Commerce. So even if it was 5 years ago, it still seems pretty fresh. And my thing with this whole situation is you knew that was how you was introduced on the show, but you never once said, hey, no, I don't work there anymore. This is my new business. You let the shit go on. So you made the world think that you were still working there. So I'm not understanding how Tiffany doesn't understand why everybody is side-eyeing her. So, Kimmy was like, that's how Mel introduced you. Tiffany says, actually, Mel knew me through WEDC. Kimmy said, well, that's not what she said. Tiffany was like, it's all absurd to me. It's like somebody going back and saying something about when you were like 12. And everybody looked like, what? Mel take a sip of her drink like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then Stormy sitting there trying to figure out what the fuck she just said. It went totally over her head. Kimmy sat there for a minute on pause and finally said, oh, you was getting smart. So then Stormy figures it out and was like, don't do that, don't do that. We was getting somewhere good. Didn't nobody come at you like that? Baby, Stormy was ready to box right then and there. I was like, you bet that bitch looked like she'd snap you into a motherfucking gym, Slim Jim, bitch. Stormy ain't the one to fuck with. I'm scared of that bitch. So Stormy in her confession was like, I could see why everybody has a problem with Tiffany. She seems like the person to me. She want to throw her rocks and then hide her hand. My discernment tells me not to have someone of that character around me because it won't end well. Meaning, she ready to fight on sight. And like I said, I'm afraid of this bitch. So Kimmy was like, that was kind of left. And Tiffany was like, are we ready for a drink? And Stormy was like, you might need one because you tripping, baby. And she get up and walk off and you hear her say, that bitch is crazy. I fucks with Stormy. Carlos King was not lying when he said Stormy comes in like a thunderstorm, baby. I'm liking her so far. She seemed real to me. She gets straight to it. She gonna say what she mean and mean what she say, and she gonna say it to your face. She don't hold no punches. Like I said, I'm scared of this bitch. I am scared of her because Stormy look like she'd click off on your ass at any goddamn moment. The takeaways from this episode, I felt like once again Mel was being messy for even discussing Tisha at all. It's just ridiculous. But once again, I have to remind myself that they're all on a reality show and they have to talk about each other, but it's just a mess at this point. Martell is irrelevant. That is being shown each episode. Kimmy and Tisha need to pay attention to the signs that are in front of them. And Ving Rhames, aka Kiki, just film with a bag over your head. Anywho, that is my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville episode 2 from season 4. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.